welcome back to the channel. So today I'm just going to recap a little bit, or not recap, I guess, because it hasn't happened yet. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's coming up in the next few weeks for running. What's next on the agenda now that I'm kind of back into running a little bit and settled here in the house and just ready to go. Let's take on the next thing. So I've got a couple notes here to my side. I've got some local races coming up, actually. Well, pretty local, you know, within an hour. Not too much travel. Of course, I had the 10K just a few days ago, basically across the bay from me. That was tough, but it went well considering I hadn't been running. And so what's coming up now on the 22nd of this month, so in just a couple of weeks, I've got a 5K coming up in a town that's only about 15 minutes away from me. So that's going to be exciting. It's a pretty good route and should be relatively fast. I think it draws a pretty good crowd, so it should be fun. You know, I don't really have a time goal for that because, again, I haven't really been training, but I've got a couple weeks to get a few short, sharp interval workouts in there. You know, if I could come in somewhere around like 22 or something like that, that would be pretty cool. We'll see what happens. And then 2 weeks later, I have a 5-miler, and that's just maybe an hour from here, hour and a half, somewhere around there. But I'm actually going to be dog sitting a little bit closer to the race than where I'm living right now. So I'm still going to be doing some dog sitting stuff, and I've got some planned in my old area and even a little bit outside of it. But since I can work remotely, it doesn't really matter where I am. So anyway, going to do that 5-miler. That one I don't really know that well. I've never run it before. I've seen the routes on Strava. I know a couple of friends who've run it before and who say it's a good course. So looking forward to that. Again, that one's going to be sort of another, if I can come in somewhere around, you know, like a target 10K pace and hold it for those 5 miles. So really only 8K. But, you know, kind of come in a little bit slower than 5K pace, but maybe right at 10K pace. I'd be happy with that. So I can't do that math in my head right now as to what kind of a time I'd be looking for, but probably somewhere around 37. Does that make sense? Yeah, maybe. Somewhere around there. I don't know. Any case, then 3 weeks later, I'm going to do a half marathon time trial. And so half marathon's really been the one that's been on our radar now for a couple of years. I really want to go sub 140. I've trained for it a couple times, had to give up and kind of take some time off a couple of times. It just, you know, it's been that one thing that's just really been eluding me, and it's been going on for way too long. I just want to get that out of the way. So that's going to be the weekend, somewhere around September 25th or something like that. I'm going to go out, find a really nice flat route, and go for that sub 140 again. If I can hit somewhere in the excuse me. Oh, all right. If I can hit somewhere in that 138 to 139 range, that'd be great. But I'm really just going to be training for the 140 and see what happens. And then I'm really just going to be upping my mileage and sort of just trying to get some good running in for the end of the year. Fall is a great time to run and just get out there and experience it and enjoy it. So probably just run more. And then looks like maybe right around Halloween or pretty close to it, I'm going to go out. There's always a 5K and, well, 5 or 10K, the trick-or-treat trot that happens in my old town. It was my first 5K that I've done. You know, it's kind of a benchmark. It's a really terrible course to try to get personal best or anything like that, but it's just kind of a good yearly benchmark for me. If they do that, and it makes sense for me to travel down there that morning to do it, then I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm probably going to do another half marathon time trial to either hit the goal if I hadn't hit it, or try to shave off about another minute or something like that. Maybe that one's the one where I'll try to get a really good half marathon time in before the end of the year, before things get too cold, and, you know, maybe get a little bit closer to the 137, 138 mark. These are all times that I feel like I can do. I just got to get the consistent high volume training in, and then the good key workouts. And And then I was thinking maybe before the end of the year, you know, weather can be a little bit more unpredictable once we start getting into November. We could have warm days in the, you know, 60 Fahrenheit range, or we could have 60 to 70 even, or we could have, you know, -10 and snow. And there's just no way of knowing. So I think that before November ends, I'll probably go out and try another 10K time trial, and maybe really just try to work for that one, get under the 45 mark. And then maybe again, you know, a week or two later, just go out and try to do a really fast 5K before things get too cold and the racing season's pretty much over. 5K, even if it's super cold out, that's actually good as long as my hands stay warm. Get a decent warm-up jog in, because then I won't overheat, and I might be able to even get close to that 20-minute mark. So anyway, that's kind of for where I'm at for the rest of the year. Just a very loose plan. So 5K and a 5-miler coming up, a couple of half marathon time trials, and then before the end of the year, try a 10 and a 5 to see what I can do. Close out 2021, hopefully with a couple of personal bests. But okay, well, that's it for me today. Just wanted to kind of talk about a bit of an overview for the next maybe 3.5 months, and we will see you in the next video, guys. Peace.